We're joined by Christopher Monette. He's the Director of Public Affairs for Teamsters Canada, joining us from Montreal today. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
I want to just first start with your reaction to the Federal Labour Board ruling.
Well, we're obviously extremely disappointed. Now our members are going to be complying with the decision, returning to work at CPKC tomorrow, and continuing the return to work at CN. That being said, we will be filing appeals with the federal court. It's an extremely disappointing decision that has robbed workers of their ability to collectively bargain with the federal government. And it sets a dangerous precedent insofar as it's shown the way for corporate Canada. If they want to avoid having to negotiate with the union, all they have to do is budget a few days of shutdown, stop their operations, put pressure on the Canadian economy, and the feds will swoop in to save them from having to face a union, from having to face unions who want to improve working conditions, who want to make sure working Canadians are treated well by their employers. And in our case, who wanted to make sure that rail safety was held for all Canadians, and to stop a company from forcing workers to relocate thousands of kilometers away at the beck and call of a multi-billion-dollar company. So we're disappointed, but the fight goes on.
We have a reaction from CN as well. I'm just going to read a piece of that for you. I'm sure you've heard it, but while CN is disappointed an agreement could not be reached at the bargaining table, the company is satisfied that this order effectively ends the unpredictability that has been negatively impacting supply chains for months. That in a news release from CN. What's your reaction to their statement?
Well, you know, we need to first understand that CN took the position at the bargaining table that they would refuse to entertain any union proposals until we accepted their demands for concessions that could impact our members' safety and rail safety across Canada.
As you say, you're filing an appeal with the federal court. We had heard previously from the government, the Labour Minister, saying that they're confident that this decision will survive a court challenge. How far are you willing to take this?
Oh, well, we're willing to take this all the way if necessary. The Supreme Court has already ruled that the right to strike is a constitutional right. That the government should not have unlimited absolute power to legislate an end to labor disputes. You know, the ability for workers to unite and present a common front against an employer to withdraw their services if necessary is a cornerstone in any developed and advanced economy. Unions are present across the developed world in all free countries. And it allows working people, working Canadians, to have a chance to stand up and to get more from these large multi-billion-dollar corporations, right? Let's made $4.1 billion in net profits last year. So if that process is not allowed to go through, if the feds are going to swoop in and save these companies every single time workers decide to take job action, or every single time a company refuses to come to a deal at the bargaining table, then workers, Canadians, are going to have less rights. The middle class is going to suffer. And I'm also thinking especially of port workers, airline workers, and the rest of the federally regulated private sector supply chain workers. Right now, these workers are going to be facing employers who know that the federal government is pretty gutless, that they're not going to tolerate any sort of short-term supply chain disruption, that they're going to swoop in and side with employers to prevent workers from negotiating better working conditions. And this in turn means that the supply chain has been set up for even more labor disruptions because these employers are going to be less willing to find deals at the bargaining table. So a disastrous decision all around.
Christopher Monette, the Director of Public Affairs for Teamsters Canada, really appreciate getting your reaction to this today. Thank you.
Thank you.